As the world expands by 2 billion people, within a generation we will be only 6% of the world's population. And, we can't play a role in the world through 27 or 28 or 30 member states. We've got to do it together.
We can only survive by cooperating more and by ensuring that all European member states, most particularly within the Eurozone, work together to find common solutions. It's a question of united we stand, divided we fall.
It was rampant nationalism that got us into the trouble we were in the first half of the last century. 16 million Europeans killed each other. We're talking about recession and despair now. In time, people will look back on this period as a golden era.
The business model that characterized the last decade, which was based on too much debt, both in the public and private sector, needs to be revisited.
When you try to create economic growth through a massive infusion of credit in the economy, so you create bubbles either in the housing sector or on the financial markets, that will at some point come to an end, and that end is going to be brutal.
What governments have done throughout Europe for many years is basically borrowed as opposed to raising money from taxes, borrowed money to fund public services, and eventually that would have caused a problem anyway. It's been exacerbated now by the banking crisis. The second lesson we've learned is that we haven't yet got a solution.
The Stability Treaty is part of that, to bring about better housekeeping, tighter budgetary discipline, and still allow national governments to determine their own budgets.
If the taxpayer has to bail out institutions, then I think there needs to be some clawback to ensure that the people who are making decisions know that they cannot make short-term decisions and get rich, and then allow the mistakes to become apparent later and let taxpayers pay.
What we're going to see 5-10 years from now is that many other economies in Europe, they're going to face structural demographic challenges which is going to force them also to change the welfare states. They simply cannot afford to continue spending these levels they're spending right now on healthcare, pensions, etc., when you will see a rapidly increasing dependency ratio where a lot more people at work needs to pay for all the services and the pensions for the old people.
The answer to the welfare state is employment and opportunity. And the best news for anybody is that the population and people can find opportunities in jobs and careers. And that's why one of the issues that Ireland has raised consistently at the European Council is the fact that there should be an agenda central to every European Council meeting for growth in jobs and enterprise.
It's quite alarming when you think that Europe spends more on welfare through pensions and welfare protection than the whole of the rest of the world combined. That's clearly not sustainable, so we have to be much smarter. I think we have to be more flexible, more efficient, and we have to realise that people have to work harder and longer.
I believe in enterprise and social justice, rights and responsibilities. Anybody can tell you can have social justice and rights, but somebody else pays. That doesn't work.
The more opportunities and careers and jobs that can be created, the less necessity there is for welfare in the first place.